Good morning. Thank you for tuning in to the Real Estate Investing Show. My name is Will Morris, and I wanted to thank you for being here. And so today, apologize for running a little late here. We've got some, of course, always got some technical issues trying to get this stuff put together. It's always fun. So anyway, today I want to talk to you about promoting. And what do I mean by promoting, and what does it mean for you in real estate, whether you're especially in the investing side. And so I've got you guys on live here on Facebook. If you want to comment with your questions, if you want to tune in, give me a call. The number's 865, or if you want to get on the phone, call 865-313-2765. We can try to answer your questions live here over the live stream. So I'm trying to get some things set up on this show to where we can really be interactive, and I can really build more, give the most value that I possibly can. So anyway, so why do you need to be promoting for real estate investing? And basically, in today's time, with social media, it has literally driven a wedge in between your traditional syndicators and operators, and it has between them and your capital investors. And this is something that I've noticed, and I actually implemented it. I've got a book coming out. Kind of hate to plug that, but I do have a book coming out here shortly that goes into, it gives the exact strategy that I used. I was able to essentially, get in on the GP on 655 units in just under 6 months. So that's the main reason that you need to promote, is that it boils down to your pipeline. You need to be able to keep that pipeline as full as you can, whether you're an operator or syndicator looking for deals, or if you're a capital partner or an investor capital partner that you're looking for something to invest in. You need that flow. You basically have deals on one side and you got capital on the other, and they both need each other to be successful and to move forward. And traditionally, your syndicators and operators, they really have a network. Traditionally you build your network through brokers and your mortgage guys, and then of course just meetups and different kind of workshops, and just your traditional networking. And it still works. There's nothing better than knowing somebody or being able to pick up the phone and know that they can actually come through for you. So that's fantastic. However, there is a new player on the field, so to speak, and that is social media and what it's done. If you're in the real estate investing space, I'm sure you've seen what Grant Cardone has done and how quickly he's been able to do it. And that all boils down to basically gaining attention. Attention is the new currency. I don't know if you've heard that before, but it's something you really need to pay attention to. Being able to literally take your phone and hit live or basically do like what I'm doing, set up a show and start building value, start giving that value, is all forms of promotion that you need to be doing in order to gain that attention. And once you have that attention, then you can start leveraging it, for your benefit. So, all right, so let's jump into promoting. So what forms of promoting should you be doing in order to basically leverage as much as you can, maximize your exposure, and what are some tricks that you can do to where you're not literally having to do all this right off the bat. So there's something called, basically you can call it like permaculture, which basically means permaculture is a term it's an older term, and what it comes from is basically back in the old days when they would farm, they would actually you would take say you had your chickens or your chicken coop or whatever, you would take the waste off of that, put it on your garden or on your corn or both, and then from there they would fertilize the ground, which in return you would get your vegetables, and then the corn would feed the cows, and then the cows would become food or dairy products. So it's just kind of a circle, and there's a way to do that with content as well, and you can call it repurposing or whatever. but it allows you to basically maximize your exposure without having to physically do everything. I mean, it's just kind of working smarter, not harder. And so it really starts with, you need some sort of long form video is really the best. So like, say you got like a show, and I hope you guys can see this. Let me know if you can't. I'm trying to write as big as I can. So you start with like a show that's like a, a 10, 20, 30-minute show, a little bit longer form. And right off the bat, you're going to utilize a show to go into something like YouTube. YouTube's a great form of long form entertainment or education, whatever you want to put on there. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take that show, and the first thing you need to do is strip the audio for a podcast. So what you're doing, so you've already made one step here. You went from a show, a video show, TV show type deal. You strip that down and put it into a podcast, strip the audio and put it into a podcast. And then from the podcast, you want to, that's your audio form. And then your show, you're actually going to pull it out, and you can make some like shorter clips. So I'm just going to put clips. And then the clips are actually something that you can turn around and use those for more posting. So, like, for example, Twitter, I think it is, will only do like a 220 seconds. Instagram is ideal is like 60 seconds. So you want to basically take that large content and just kind of keep funneling it down. And it allows you to create sort of micro content out of your macro content, your large form, and then you're going to keep creating it and forming it down. So then you got clips, and then you could take the clips, or you could take the show again, and then from there you're going to make post. And what that is that's going to be something more like Instagram picture with some captions on it or something like that. So basically what you've done is you've taken one thing that you've done, one action, one form of content, and you essentially made 1, 2, 3, 4 other forms out of it. Oh, and I forgot a good one that you don't need to forget about. There's still a lot of people that read in this world, believe it or not. So you take your show, and then you're going to have it, I'll put it up here. This is a good one. You want it to be transcribed. And the reason why you want to do that is for like a blog. So that's the big one there, looking for like a blog. So a good blog platform would be like medium.com. So essentially that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different pieces of content all out of one video that you've done. Now, a lot of questions that I get a lot of times is I'm nervous, or I don't know, I'm afraid somebody's going to think weird of me or make fun of me or something. And, these are all things that you just kind of, it's all part of it. You kind of have that imposter syndrome. What if somebody says I'm ugly or something? But, you got to get over that. You can't let that hold you back. It's just part of it. You're putting yourself out there, but you're doing it for the betterment. You're sharing your knowledge. You're sharing your, what you have to say with the world. So, the next thing is that when you're promoting, you're doing this. So that was one video, one form, essentially created five pieces of content, or if not more, because like that one video, really you should be chopping at least 5, micro clips or micro content out of it, and then you should be clipping, at least 10 or 20 pictures out of it. So really, one 30-minute show could really produce about a week's worth of content, believe it or not. So back to sort of that imposter syndrome. What do I talk about for 30 minutes? That's where you need to sit down and kind of do some scripting, or if you want to, that kind of helps. Maybe have a topic. That's really good to have a topic and then kind of go for it. So why is all this important for real estate? Now, the reason why is it goes back to keeping your pipeline full. And the reason why you want to keep your pipeline full, like I said, is that you are basically trying to attract. And if you want to attract people, you know, kind of think of it as you kind of got to be that bright light, you know, be that brightest light and attract the bugs come to the light, so to speak. You know, so if you can imagine that, you know, you're basically like you're building this fire, and all these pieces of content that you're doing are just kind of logs on that fire, and it's just getting bigger and bigger. And so the bigger the fire, the more people you attract. And so that's what you're looking to do. And you know, once you start producing this content, start getting it out there, start attracting those people, then you can start, you know, kind of like matchmaking, and you know, on one hand you're getting deal flow, on the other hand you're getting capital coming in, and you can start matchmaking. It allows you to introduces you to more people. It gets you exposed, gets you out there. You know, I've done this. This is a strategy that I have actually done, and it's worked out really well. Especially in the multifamily space, because there's just not a lot of people doing it. You know, it's something else going to separate you from everybody else. And so, you know, taking all this and you know, it's kind of hard to get over, like I said, the fact of putting yourself out there, and you get better. I mean, it's like anything, you got to practice. But the next thing is you know, you need to script out that 30-minute show. You know, even if you get on here and mumble around for a few minutes, I mean, there's going to be some pieces of content. Like I said, it'll get better. But once you get your show and you get those larger pieces of content, something else on the show, a good idea is if you don't want to set up a studio or do something like that, or if you need more, if you need something to go off of, you know, you can actually go through one of your deals. You use a deal that you're working on, go through it, kind of educate off of it, show people what you're talking about. If you have a piece of property, you got to watch, or if you're trying to sell something or raise capital for something, kind of got to watch how you're soliciting that. So you kind of want to come from a more of an educational standpoint. And what I mean by that is basically saying how I did this or how I would do this. You know, it's more of opinionated and kind of just go over the details in the deal. And that allows you to take something that you've already got and create content off of it. Interviews is a great way, jumping on some podcasts, using stuff like Zoom. And so these are all forms that you need to utilize to create this content. And then from the content, you need to get I erased it, but get your micro content out of it, get your clips, your postings, and all that stuff. Now, as far as actually posting that, there's programs like Hootsuite, I think, is one of them that you can schedule this stuff. You can hire some people that will, you know, kind of manage your posting for you and stuff, to where you're not physically having to do it. So what you're trying to do is you're essentially trying to multiply time here by you know, utilizing that content, utilizing virtual assistants or somebody that'll help you post. And so once you get all this going, the next thing is building what's called a funnel. And this is all part of promotion. This is the reason why a lot of people quit is, you know, the first hurdle is getting over the fact that you're going to have to speak on camera, that, you know, somebody's probably going to say something bad about you or, you know, hate on you somehow. And it's just part of it. It's the world we live in. And then the third one would be, you know, actually you're producing content, getting it out there. Well, then what happens off of that? It's just the you know, the result from that is you start getting leads coming in. You start getting you know, investors calling you with capital. You get people calling you about you know, with deals that they're looking for capital. And so you've got to start funneling these people in and actually start tracking them and keeping, you know, you got to start building your list is what it's called. And so that's where your funnels come in. You can use some stuff to where, you know, like I use ClickFunnels is a great way to basically start that funnel. ClickFunnels is a web platform. And I don't want to get too techie here because, like I said, this is a real estate show, but I want to tell you that, you know, real estate's not just real estate anymore. If you think real estate is just out here slinging real estate, it's not. It's you know, it's about getting attention. Because I mean, even take a real estate agent, if you will. I mean, there's literally 5,000 agents, and what separates in the town here that I'm in Knoxville, and you know, what separates you from the other 4,999 agents? Well, it's attention. You know, who when somebody thinks of an agent, who do they think of? Do they think of you or whoever's on the computer or their random friend or whatever. So same thing about investing. When somebody's ready to sell, how are you getting those off-market deals? You know, do they know about you? Do they think about you? You know, are you in the buzz? You know, are you in the media world? Every time somebody gets on social media on a platform or something, are they seeing you? You know, that's what this does. That's why you need to be promoting. It's how Grant Cardone got to where he's very successful, but how he done so well so quickly in real estate is by leveraging social media to basically get attention. And then once you have the attention, you can leverage that to work yourself in the deal, which I did on the 655 units, or you can leverage that attention to, you know, keep attracting deal flow, investor flow. You know, it works. So all this being said is just because I've had a several of my phone calls here lately have all come back to basically how am I doing what I'm doing and why? You know, why am I promoting? And it boils down to it keeps my pipeline full. And the second is basically it gets me attention. And once I have that attention on me, then I can turn around and leverage that to my advantage. Like I said, I have a book coming out. Should hopefully be out next week. It's in the formatting stage right now, and once it's out, it actually goes through in detail my exact strategy that I use to go from zero to in the GP on 655 units in just under 6 months. And it shows you how you can do it. It goes in a lot more detail on the basically kind of what I'm scratching the surface on here, and gives you some great resources. I've actually put some links and you know actual stuff that I actually still use today, and my action plan that I use in there. I got some free resources as well that I'm putting together with it, so it's going to be a huge benefit for you. But you know, if you have any questions, I don't care if it's on a show or not. You know, I'd love to help you. Number's 865-313-2765. I don't care a bit to put that out there because I look forward to helping you guys get either started, or if you're already in it, like a lot of these investors that I've been speaking with, investors and syndicators on both sides. I've just had several great conversations about, you know, where we're at with social media and where it's going and how it's affecting real estate investing, how you can leverage that. It's you know it's been a sweet ride for the last little bit, but looking to keep going. I'm actually, you know, I am moving forward into my own syndications, and still got some great partnerships set up, looking at some new partnerships coming up in the near future here. And so I will keep working. I'll make you a promise. I'll keep working on this on the studio and the show. And you know, let me know in the comments some topics that you'd like to talk about, whether it's syndicating, you know, some basic multifamily investing advice, you know, maybe going over a deal. If you'd like to see one of the deals that we're working on, I don't care to show that. You know, we can go over some simple stuff, some NOIs, and you know, the talk about more of the structure of the deal and how you can actually figure out, you know, what you should be offering on deals based off the NOI and the cap rate. That's all formula. It's one thing I love about multifamily is it kind of takes the guesswork out of it, in my opinion, because the numbers really tell you what you need to pay for it. So anyway, thanks again for watching. Hope you got some value out of this. If you did, let me know. If you didn't, please let me know in the comments. Like I said, I'm trying to give as much value as I can here. And we'll be walking some properties here. I've got one coming up next week, I think it is. We got to ride down there and take a look at it. And when I'm on site, I'll actually show you some stuff on, you know, I don't know if you know this or not, but and this goes a little bit in the book as well, but I actually come from the value add side of things. So I've value added over 3,000 units, and so I have a vast knowledge about value adding and some tips and tricks I can lay out on that. Not a subject that a lot of people are talking about right now.